have not won the war in my country. Let's say that in Nigeria, we still have serious problems. And that is why I think it's important. But at least people know that there are examples that you can fight corruption, you can out people who are doing things, bad things, you can, there are weapons and things you can use. So, but for a country, I mean, South Africa has had a very institutionalized, I see South Africa as a country which has relatively strong institutions. So it's a pity, that some of the institutions have been subverted, to allow this corruption to take place. You can't really fight corruption on an individual basis until you have the institutions that can deal with it. And that was another thing I pointed out in my book. At the end of the day, you have to have an independent judiciary that is trusted by the people. You have to have agencies willing to, and a judiciary willing to arrest and try the people who are corrupt. You have to have police or whatever systems, criminal investigation systems. You have to have in place mechanisms, financial mechanisms that stop people from being able to access public resources. That was actually one of the successes we had in the country, in putting in place a financial management system, a government integrated financial management system, and a personnel system that was computerized better than what we had before, that at least diminished the amount of corruption. They did stop it all. I'm not saying it did, but it substantially diminished that. So South Africa has the ability to do some of those, putting in system rules and mechanisms now that we have technology that really minimizes access. So that's one of the pieces of advice I gave. If you do that, if you have strong institutions, and especially an independent judiciary, you have the ombudsman, you have that, we didn't. Those that are willing to out and are seen by citizens to be fair. And then above all, we have to look at our political systems. I also saw that a lot of the corruption that comes in is based on, it takes money to fight elections. And where do you get that money from? Sometimes political corruption is also linked. We need to look at our political systems and to ask ourselves, are they fit for purpose for the countries we live in? And so we need to clean up some of these things. So it's a deep fight. It's a long-term fight. But I also think that there must be a change in values and attitudes. And we have to start with our children in our schools. It's not a fight for just now. Now we've seen there's a problem. We must start inculcating in our children the right values, what is right and what is wrong. If you see someone who is suddenly rich, and you know that they haven't worked for their money, do you ask the right questions, or do you embrace them in their fancy car and ride the car with them without saying, hey, how did you come about this? We ourselves must have the right values and teach our children those values. It starts with us.